rearrange a few things. Thank you for your patience with us. This is Russell speaking again. I'd like to introduce Senator Dazzo to come up and speak briefly, and then we will kind of resume the original course of our plan.
Okay, well, good morning, buenos dias. Great to be with you this morning, and chosen family. Remember, it's who we decide is the person that we want to take care of us, not somebody else. So together, siblings, sisters, and brothers, together, we're going to change that. We're going to change that with SB 590. So finally, your presence today and your insistence that our government understands the principle of nothing about us without us. Nothing about us without us. Nobody makes a decision for us. We make our decisions. More than ever, it is important. So remember what Cesar Chavez and Dolores Huerta told us. When things seemed like they were too difficult to overcome, too many obstacles, too many things put in front of us, what did they say when they were told this by farm workers? You're poor, you do dirty work, you are incapable of getting what you deserve in life. What did they say? Sí se puede. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Se puede, sí se puede. Se puede, sí se puede. Thank you all very much. Have a beautiful day.
That is so great. Thank you, Senator Dazzo. So up next, I'm so looking forward to hearing from this next artist. She seems to be everywhere I go, and that is so wonderful. Everybody, please welcome Elizabeth Campos, who's going to sing Lift Every Voice and Sing. Here we go.
Good afternoon, everyone. Hi. Just a brief description of myself. I am a tall, blind Afro-Latina. Got my hair pulled back, wearing a dress, and I'm here to sing. And if you know it, you can sing with me. But really glad that all of you are here. Lift every voice and sing. Let earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmony of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening sky. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the hope that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of a new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won. Let us march on till victory is won. That's it.
Everybody, Elizabeth Campos. That was so great. Every rally needs a protest song, and I'm so happy to hear it from her. All right, everybody. Next up, we have a speaker. I'd like for you all to welcome Katie Wolf, who is a doctoral student and activist in the Sustainability and Health Equity and Disability Ecologies in lab at the University of California of Berkeley. That's where I went to school. So everybody, please give it up big for Katie Wolf. Are we working? Oh, wow. Beautiful. Let's go up. Okay. Excellent. Hey, everybody. Welcome. I'm honored to be here. So in green and blue shirts and green glasses. I'm also a disabled doctoral student and activist who's been organizing against coercion and mental health legislation in California for about 3 years now. So I'm here to tell you about it. Every year since I've been doing this, legislators have introduced a new flood of bills every year that erode the liberties of disabled people without consulting disabled people. They don't consult the peer organizations, the organizations made by and for people with mental health disabilities, and they don't consult Disability Rights California, California's federally designated protection and advocacy agency for disabled people. Imagine writing a bill about women without women, about queer people without queer people. Yet we keep getting these bills about disabled people, specifically people with mental health disabilities, without disabled people. I think the reason is a form of disability discrimination that disability theorists Catherine Prendergast and Margaret Price call a loss of rhetoricity, and Miranda Fricker calls epistemic injustice. More simply, once someone perceives you to have a mental health disability, often they no longer consider you a reliable witness of your own experience. Psychiatric patients are even the sole inpatient group excluded from federally mandated hospital experience surveys. We disabled people know that nothing about us without us is the floor. But right now in California on mental health legislation, legislators are below the floor. They're in the underworld. Some examples. Senator Stearns' Senate Bill 820, introduced this year, currently in the Assembly, would make it easier to forcibly inject people found incompetent to stand trial after having been charged with a misdemeanor with antipsychotics. Meanwhile, Senator Umberg, author of Care Court, a hideously expensive boondoggle that singles out people with, quote, schizophrenia spectrum and other psychotic disorders, unquote, for ongoing court surveillance, and very effectively channels money to hearing officers, contractors, and attorneys, and it very effectively does not channel money to disabled people, introduces a new Care Court update bill every year that further erodes our civil liberties. For example, after he passed Care Court, guess what? He forgot that people with disabilities have the same medical privacy protections as everyone else. So he was having trouble getting people's private medical records to qualify them for Care Court. So in 2023, he passed Senate Bill 35, which creates a hole in privacy laws so that the county can get their hands on your medical records from your doctor even before you know that someone has filed a petition against you. Then, in 2024, he was still having problems getting those medical records, so he weakened the evidentiary rules so he could just use a clinician's testimony instead of those medical records. Now, this year, Umberg is trying to pass Senate Bill 27. I'd tell you what was in it, but I'm not kidding. He is hiding the text. The bill is what legislators call a spot bill, which means that it passed through all the Senate committees and floor without the real text. Advocates from disability and peer orgs have tried, but he won't tell us what's in it. It's a bill about disabled people, and not only is Senator Umberg not seeking the feedback of disabled people, he's actively trying to avoid us. Meanwhile, Senator Medjavar's Senate Bill 331 changes the definition of mental health disorder that qualifies someone for involuntary holds from 5150s, famously through conservatorship, to any diagnosis in the current edition of the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, or DSM. Guess what's in the DSM? Premenstrual dysphoric disorder. That's roughly the clinical term for PMS. Caffeine withdrawal. That's the clinical term for what I might have right now. Gender dysphoria, a clinical diagnosis that trans people often need to get gender-affirming care. Senator Medjavar is vice chair of the LGBTQ caucus. I don't know what she's doing. Yet this bill would give police power in this holy Pride Month to detain people that they perceive to be a danger to self or others and trans. None of this should be happening. Per the Convention on Rights of Persons with Disabilities, an international treaty enacted in 2008 that the US signed but didn't ratify, the United Nations and the World Health Organizations, countries should be replacing all forms of substitute decision-making, i.e. taking legal capacity from disabled people, which would include all holds through conservatorship, with supported decision-making systems. The United Nations Working Group on Arbitrary Detention visited 4 institutions in California in October 2016 and condemned condemned what they found in July 2017, stating involuntary institutionalization of people with psychosocial disabilities and forced treatment is prohibited. Quote, the California State Association of Psychiatrists, which often ghostwrites these bills without consulting disabled people, does not know better than the United Nations and the World Health Organization. Why do legislators keep deferring to them over either international experts or us, disabled people in California? I would say that the legislature has, per Nina Arabelis, a disability studies scholar, reified disability as the master trope of disqualification, particularly mental health disability. For example, if I say, oh, she's crazy, right? Or, oh, he's not trans, he's just unstable, right? I might be trying to do sexism. I might be trying to do racism. I might be trying to do transphobia. But my weapon is sanism. But sanism isn't a precise weapon. Its effects don't stay confined to those of us who are mad, and therein lies the hope. I've heard people fighting this flood of bills year after year say, legislators don't listen to us. We have no power. But because this kind of discrimination that we face in the legislature doesn't just affect us, that means that we have allies. We can work with the queer community, the trans community, elders, the immigrant community, housing advocates, anti-carceral organizers, racial justice organizers, and so many more. We have the World Health Organization. We have the United Nations behind us. When people understand these bills, I promise you, they don't like what's in them. We can fight them, we will fight them, and we are not alone. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Katie. And I think Katie's speech is a reminder of why there is an attack on the academic institutions right now, because she's kicking some ass. There you go. But boom, there we go. So next, I'm so happy to introduce Assembly Member Tom Lackey, who is part of the Legislative Disability Caucus and Vice Chair. Everybody, please welcome Assembly Member Lackey.
Well, it's almost no longer morning, but good morning and afternoon. It's nice to see everybody here. I want you to know that I'm very proud to see that the formulation of this legislative caucus. It's about time that you all get recognized for the value that you bring to society. Everybody looks at your challenge and they forget of your contribution. And many of us who are in the legislature understand that you bring great value to our society. And what you need to understand, the beauty of this arrangement and this political effort supersedes all other influences. There's not a partisan leaning to this. Don't boo, but I'm a Republican. But I want you to know that I'm a Republican with a heart, and I understand the beauty that you bring to our society. And I do have some other Republicans to work on, and I'll be doing that. But I want you to know that. Okay? But I want you to know that I recognize you not for your disability, but what you do bring and your ability. Because it's far greater, but it's not as visible. And so we need to make sure, though, that the services and the challenges that you face are addressed appropriately and not dismissed. Because I think you represent maybe about 10–15% of the population. That means 85% of the population needs to be educated. And they need to understand the challenges that you face every day. And the things that are so simple to everyone else aren't so simple in your life. And so what we need to do is bring a fairness to your world. That is our goal as a legislative body. That should be our goal, is to bring fairness to your world. And unfortunately, if you look at the legislative priorities of the past, you're the first ones to get cut when it comes to funding, when you should be the very, very last to get cut. So it's an honor to join you in your cause for goodness, and I'm proud to be part of this and know that you have a very consistent partner in trying to do what's right. So thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much, Assembly Member Lackey. Are you ready for somebody who's been here, or two people who've been here a while, waiting to come on? Everybody, I'd like to introduce Lucille Tompkins Garut. She is a self-advocate and student at the University of San Francisco, and she is appearing with the Vanessa Ochoa from Disability Rights of California. Please give them a great big welcome.
Hello, everyone. And I use any pronouns. I want just a little bit about myself. I'm 5'3", wearing giant platforms though. Dark brown hair to my shoulders, freckles, kind of wearing grungy type clothes, but a little more happy than angsty. But anyway, thank you to everyone coming out today. Thank you to everyone organizing and giving me the chance to speak. I'm originally from Iowa in a town called Dubuque. Dubuque is a very traditional town. It is made up of nearly all white people. As a young, half Asian and half white girl, the makeup of my hometown led me to constantly be in fear of what racism I was going to experience that day. Constantly, the deep racial trauma that I experienced throughout my childhood largely contributed to me acquiring a mental health disability and being diagnosed with complex post-traumatic stress disorder, psychosis, and other diagnoses. I'm sharing my story to show that anti-racist education and activism cannot be separated from disability advocacy. Additionally, discrimination on individual and institutional levels has the potential to cause disability. This includes the violent deportation and the racist targeting of the immigrant community. Advocating for disability rights includes advocating for the families that are being ripped apart and the children who are left to defend themselves. Activism is inherently intersectional, so we should stand for individuals with disability, the immigrant community, and other marginalized groups. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's my walk-up song, cue. Looks like Lucy was too tall here. Bring it down real quick. I am so happy to be here with everyone at the first annual California Leadership Alliance Day at the Capitol. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much to everyone that's coming out to show your love and support to our community with disabilities. I want to take a moment to acknowledge what's happening in our state and how it affects everyone. It's affecting all of us. Disabilities exist in all cultures, religions, races, economic backgrounds, and communities. We all know someone with a disability, love someone with a disability, or live with a disability. We may not identify as having a disability, but we are here. It is also, having a disability is also what connects us all as a society. All countries have folks with disabilities, so we want to make sure that we know we're connected to everyone in this world. As a person with lived experience with a mental health disability and the daughter of immigrants from Mexico and a mother of an adult with a disability, this is a subject that is really near and dear to my heart. Latinos are the largest racial and ethnic group in California. We need more folks at the table that look and sound like us. That's right. We need folks that can really speak to our experience as Latinos with disabilities and family members of people with disabilities. Now more than ever, we must speak for those who are too scared to speak up for themselves. Please know that we're all in this together. Let's look out for our Californians with disabilities, especially immigrants with disabilities. We're with you, we stand with you, and we are you. We are a family. And now I'll say this in Spanish. Qué feliz estoy estar aquí con ustedes en el primer día anual de la Alianza de Liderazgo en California, en el Capitolio. Gracias a todos por haber venido y mostrar tanto apoyo y amor a nuestra comunidad con discapacidades. Quiero tomarme un momento para reconocer lo que está sucediendo en nuestro estado y cómo nos afecta a todos. Las discapacidades existen en todas las culturas, religiones, razas y en estatus económicos. Todos tenemos una relación con alguien que tiene una discapacidad, o los conocemos o tenemos familiares que tienen una discapacidad, o hasta en muchos casos nosotros tenemos una discapacidad y no lo identificamos. Y es también la cosa que nos conecta a todo el mundo. Todos los países tienen discapacidades y es nuestra conexión a todos. Yo soy una persona que tiene una discapacidad de salud mental y soy la hija de inmigrantes de México y la madre de una adulta con discapacidad. Este es un tema muy personal para mí. Los latinos son el grupo más grande en California. Necesitamos más personas como nosotras que estamos sentados en la mesa cuando se están haciendo decisiones. Necesitamos más personas que hablan como nosotros, que se parecen a nosotros y que pueden compartir las experiencias que nosotros tenemos como latinos con discapacidades y que tienen nuestros familiares. Ahora más que nunca tenemos que hablar por aquellos que tienen miedo, levantar la voz. Hoy es el momento. Quiero que sepan que estamos todos con ustedes. Para todos los californianos con discapacidades, aquí estamos. Estamos con ustedes, los apoyamos, somos ustedes, somos familia. Gracias. Thank you.
Everybody, please give it up one more time for Vanessa Ochoa and Lucille Thompson. All right, so I'm very excited for our next guests. Hopefully they are coming up. I've been watching them, ready. I love their outfits. So everybody, it's time for some art. It's time for some dance. Everybody, please welcome the Star Dancers. And while we prepare, are you gonna talk? Yeah. Oh, interpret down. Yeah. All right. So I just want to make sure everything is in place, and a little bit about the Star Dancers. They are a dance group formed in 2009 and made up of dancers with disabilities. Today, their newest member, Tornado, is making his debut. So please give them a warm welcome, everybody, the Star Dancers.
trinos ya mi morena, con la fresca brisa de tierra morena, miro las espigas, dorados sus trigas, con las que se ven muy verdes los maizales, se ven bardas de piedras quebradas, citas con arcones de adobe blanqueadas, la Virgen del Cerrito que anima nuestros males, las condiciones y las inundables, los mexicanos le brindan su canto, todos la visitan el día de su santo. México, México, me brota la inspiración. México, México, me brota en tu corazón. Somos unos jarochos cantados con ilusión. Amantes frustrados, me quedo en este suelo tan lindo y tan sereno, encontrado cantos, risas y consuelos, por tantas cosas bellas me quedo en tu seno, usando tus pregones, te canta el viajero. México, 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 me llevo en el corazón. Me brota la inspiración. México, México, desde tu corazón. Hoy todos los jarochos cantados con ilusión. México, México,
Que me vuelvo como a Colombo. Give it up for the star dancers, everybody. And they are coming back later on, so you will see them again. Let me just get the podium over here. And, oh, great, thank you so much. Everyone, I am very happy to introduce our next speaker, Regina. I want to make sure I say it right. Regina Brink is currently the first Vice President and Director of Governmental Affairs for the California Council of the Blind. And I'm going to move this over a teeny bit so we get it into the frame. So, Regina, I'm going to move it a little bit over to the left. Here we go. I think we're good now. All right. So, everybody, once again, Regina Brink.
Thank you. So, well, this is off script, but how many totally blind people does it take to score the one with the little... 0. We don't need the lights. Sorry, I couldn't resist. So I am about 4'10" on a good day. And I'm Hispanic with curly black hair, hazel eyes. I'm wearing a purple shirt with sparklies on it and a black skirt. And see, I even know what I'm wearing. This is a pivotal time for California, but also for people with disabilities within our state. In September, it will be 52 years since Section 504 of the Rehabilitation Act was signed into law, and 35 years since we celebrated the signing of the Americans with Disabilities Act. I wish I could tell you they have been fully implemented and we have realized equity, inclusion, and full access for people with disabilities. Sadly, not only has this not happened, it has not happened, significant federal and state budget cuts and policy changes now threaten the progress we have made. In-home support services, provision for life-affirming long-term care for people with disabilities, and many older adults are up for possible cuts in the governor's May budget revise. I think he works somewhere around here. In-home support workers make it possible for people with disabilities and their family members to work, sustaining care, so our elders are not institutionalized, and other people unnecessarily, and relieve isolation through their companionship. This helps drive our economy in ways institutionalizing people unnecessarily does not. In fact, the Council of the Blind is seeking to expand these services to include reader and visual interpretation assistance. To compound our concerns, home-based community programs and asset limits that qualify the same populations for Medi-Cal are being cut or rolled back. This will result in fewer people living productively and independently, fewer people paying taxes, and more people in need of extra medical care and mental health services. People who are blind or have low vision cannot currently get critical documents, websites, or apps to be consistently accessible. That creates major barriers to employment and daily living. In addition, library services for people who are blind or have low vision or print disabilities may disappear altogether if federal and state cuts go through. Often, the ability to read books and magazines through these specialized free libraries is the first living skill readily available to people who have just lost or are losing their sight. And just think about that. That's the ability to read and access information. So vital. It's vital to be a part of American society. People who are deaf or hard of hearing experience different access barriers, but they're just as critical. An African proverb says, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. I want California and the United States to go far. We can only do that through empowering all of our people. We must go forward together, realizing leaving people behind hurts our whole society. I believe we can do this, and it reminds me of a song. And it's familiar, I think, so I invite you to sing it with me if you know it. Sing it out, don't be shy. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. Okay, we won't be afraid. We won't be afraid. We won't be afraid. We won't be afraid today. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we won't be afraid today. Thank you.
All right, everybody, please give it up for Regina Briggs. And also, as a dyslexic, this is way overdue. Can I just thank all the blind people who have ever advocated for accessible text, because we have benefited so much. And we do not thank you enough. That's how I got through school. And I went through school in the 90s. I went to Berkeley in community college in the 90s, and I had one of those great big tape recorders from California, blind, whatever, books or whatever, talking books. Yes, and so I thank you all. All right, everybody, I am so happy I just met them, and I look forward to hearing what Jem Moore has to say. Jem is a youth organizer from California Foundation of Independent Living Centers, and is going to present some spoken words. So everybody, please give it up for Jem. I can't overcome this mic stand. Thank you. And please give it up for all everybody who's put this all together, and our sound person and our interpreters. They've done an amazing job. And with that, I'm going to give you a proper introduction again. Everybody, give it up big for Jem.
Thank you, thank you. Good morning, and thank you all for being here. My name is Jeannie Elise Mandela Moore, but my favorite people like to call me Jem. I am a Black trans femme, about 5'6", in a lovely little red jumpsuit. And I am here today hoping to move you all with not just my story and my perspective, but with my born and raised. My mom used to tell me, don't let others tell you what you can achieve. My mother is the type of person who